CLS Talks.
Talk to me.
CLS Talks.
Talk to me.
CLS Talks.
Talk to me.
CLS
Talk to
Talks.
me.
Real information.
Talk to me.
Real education.
Talk to me. Talk to me. They don't talk to me. They look like they want it. They don't talk to me. They want it. They don't talk to me. They want it. They don't talk to me. They want it.
Your Honour, Mr. Murphy would not engage with me in any way.
Your Honour, under the best evidence rule, why have the Garda not submitted their evidence?
You're being charged with not having insurance and a valid driving licence.
Are you refusing to accept these?
I'm not refusing anything.
Isn't it true, Garda Mahoney, that you and other members of An Garda Síochána refused to allow me to produce the licence, insurance and other documents from underneath the driver's seat of the car on at least 4 occasions?
No.
We put it to you, Garda Mahoney, that you are lying under oath.
Judge, I looked for the driver's licence on the side of the road, and at no stage did he intimate to me where the driving licence was. If he showed me his licence, we wouldn't have had to be here today.
Did he offer to get the documents from the car?
He would have suggested, he might have suggested that the documents were in the vehicle, Judge. But
At what stage did he ask you could he get the documents from the vehicle?
Isn't it true, Garda Mahoney, that your grounding original charge is on charge sheet number 123 blah blah blah? Isn't it true, Garda Mahoney, that the whole incident was recorded at the side of the road?
I can't recall.
Garda Mahoney, are you disputing the fact that you stated in your written testimony, quoting yourself, he began to record our conversation?
Judge, I believe, I'm not sure. I don't know whether he did or didn't. I don't know.
He may or may not recall.
Garda Mahoney, in relation to charge sheet 1234567, isn't it true that you did not seize or any licence?
No.
Why are we here today, Garda Mahoney? I'll restate that question. Why are we here, Garda, today, Garda Mahoney, as under section 60, subsection 3 of the Road Traffic Act, if you care to read what's in front of you, it is about seizing licences. Garda Mahoney, isn't it true that you are willfully stifling, suppressing and withholding evidence?
There seems to be an error with your paperwork, Inspector.
We move the court to strike the case for want of prosecution.
There is an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 charges here for you to answer, so I will not strike out this case.
Garda Mahoney, isn't it true that you are willfully stifling, suppressing and withholding evidence?
No, Judge, no.
Garda Mahoney, isn't it true that you did not give me a copy of your contemporaneous notebook?
No, Judge.
Garda Mahoney, isn't it true that you did not give us a full copy of your contemporaneous notebook?
That is not true.
You were saying you did, but yet you didn't though, did you?
I think what Mr. Murphy is saying that you didn't give him a copy of everything in your notebook.
But he's not entitled to everything in my notebook.
How do you know what's relevant to this case, Garda Mahoney? Garda Mahoney, do you actually know what's relevant to this case?
It is not intended to be used as a method to trip up the Garda.
Your Honour, are you suggesting that we're trying to trip up the Gardaí?
It is not as intended to be used as a method to trip up the Gardaí.
But what are you saying? Are you saying that that's what we're trying to do? To trip up the Gardaí?
No, but what I'm saying is I granted a Gary Doyle order, you received the statements. Now at no stage did you ask the Garda for his notes.
Are you testifying to that, Your Honour?
I'm not testifying, I'm telling you the position.
Your Honour, the record will show that the last time we stood here in this court, we verbally requested a copy of the Garda's contemporaneous notebook, and the inspector that was here on the day said, yes, we will get that to you.
This case has gone on for over 2 hours now, and I have given you every leeway. Have you any further questions for the Garda?
Yes, Your Honour, we sure have. Isn't it true that you did not give me a copy of your contemporaneous notebook, Garda Mahoney?
I have given you a copy.
Really, Garda Mahoney, have you given me all of your contemporaneous notes in relation to this matter?
Yes,
When did you give it to me?
just there earlier.
Your Honour,
Mr. Murphy,
Your Honour, at the very least, we would need a 3-month adjournment to fully examine those notes, and
Mr. Murphy, you're making a deliberate attempt to delay these proceedings. Now, would you please proceed with your questions?
with respect, Your Honour, from last October to now has been 5 months. 5 months, and they, the Gardaí, have not provided us with all the evidence.
I will not give you an adjournment. Please proceed with your questions.
Isn't it true, Garda Mahoney, that the inspector did agree to give me a copy of your contemporaneous notes?
I have ruled on this matter. I am not adjourning this matter. You had an opportunity to see the Garda's contemporaneous notes.
Your Honour, are you trying to rush me to judgment?
I'm not rushing you, but we're now entering our 3rd hour of this case, Mr. Murphy.
Well, the point in fact is that the Garda have not.
Can you please ask the Garda your questions?
With respect to yourself, we are trying to get the truth of this. We're trying to get to the truth of it, and with every turn we turn, you have, in my opinion, tried to push me away from the questions that we're asking Garda Mahoney.
Mr. Murphy, have you any further questions for the Garda?
Yes, Your Honour, we wish to move the court to strike the case for obstruction of justice based upon the fact that the Gardaí have withheld evidence.
You can either make a submission or continue with your cross-examination. You cannot have it both ways.
Garda Mahoney, isn't it true that you were withholding and suppressing your notes from the defence because...
You've already asked that question. Now please move on.
No, Your Honour, we have not asked this specific question. If Your Honour
If
will
you-
bear with us, although the question starts the same as the previous question, it is a different question.
If you continue in this vein, I'm going to consider holding you in contempt of court. I have made my ruling.
Your Honour, this is a different question. And if you bear with me for a moment and let me finish the question, you will see that it is a different question. It may have the same start, but it's a different question. Garda Mahoney, isn't it true that you are withholding and suppressing your notes from the defence because they do not match up with my recording of the events?
Just answer the question.
I don't understand the question.
Your Honour, we did not hear a yes or a no from the Garda.
I'm not deliberately suppressing anything, no.
OK. Garda Mahoney, isn't it true that we reached down to get you the documents you did seek? You did put your hand through the window of the car, unlocked the door, forced it open, assaulted and tried to drag me from the car.
Your Honour, I would have opened the door.
How did you open the door? And look, Garda Mahoney, with respect, all we want is straightforward answers.
Judge, I'm not answering the way he wants me to answer. I would have opened the door because of the way he was acting.
We asked him for one answer. We're not looking for more testimony.
The question is, did you assault him?
I did open the door, but I didn't assault him.
Now, can you ask your next question?
Your Honour, the point of the question wasn't even about the assault, and it wasn't about the fact that he actually trespassed to open the lock of the door. It was the fact that when we reached down to get the documents, he took advantage of the situation. He could see me reaching down to get what he was looking for and took advantage of that situation.
Mr. Murphy is saying that he was trying to reach down and get the documents when you opened the door. Is that the question?
Yes, Your Honour, that's correct. We reached down to get the documents and he put his hand through the window and pulled up the lock of the door, forced the door open, and then he tried to drag me out of the car.
No!
So, Garda Mahoney, are you saying that none of that happened?
Again, Judge, at no stage did he show me his driver's licence, and most people just hand me their driver's licence.
Look, Garda Mahoney, the question is, did you drag the driver from the car? No?
The question is about the documents, Your Honour.
Did you see him reaching for the documents?
If he had given me his licence from the very start, we wouldn't be here today, Your Honour.
Your Honour, if somebody attacked you...
Mr. Murphy, you cannot ask me questions. If you wish, you can give evidence in a moment. Have you any further questions?
Yes, I've loads of further questions, Your Honour. Garda Mahoney, isn't it true that you are suppressing these facts from your testimony?
No, that isn't true.
But yet, Garda Mahoney, you won't give me a copy of your contemporaneous notebook.
A copy has been given.
With respect, Your Honour, we have not had the time to analyse the documents properly in respect of the...
I have not refused to look at the photocopy of the Garda notebook, which consisted of 2 or 3 lines. You're deliberately obstructing the court and wasting time. I'm not going to allow you to continue. Can you please ask your next question and stop wasting the court's time?
I'm not refusing anything, but Your Honour, we're not trying to waste the court's time either.
But you are doing that.
Garda Mahoney, isn't it true that you are suppressing these facts from your testimony?
You have asked that question for the 4th time. He has answered that question. I'm not allowing you to repeat and ask the same question of the Garda.
OK. Garda Mahoney, isn't it true that is why you have willfully failed to give me a copy of your contemporaneous notes?
I am not allowing you to ask that question. Can you please move on?
Yes, Your Honour, we will. Garda Mahoney, isn't it true that on approaching me, you swore at me?
On approaching you? I've no recollection, Your Honour.
Judge, can you get the Garda to answer the question, please?
He's answered the question. He said he's no recollection of swearing at you.
With respect, Garda Mahoney, is that yes or no? Did you swear at me or did you not?
I find it hard to believe that I did. I have no recollection of swearing at him, Your Honour.
So, is that yes or no, Garda Mahoney?
He said he can't remember. He has no recollection.
Garda Mahoney, isn't it true that you did put your hand in and unlock the car door?
He has already answered that, Mr. Murphy.
Well, this is a different question on a different line that we're taking, Your Honour. We're looking for something else.
He answered that question. Can you ask the next question, please? You're trying my patience. He said that he opened the door. You can ask another question.
So, should we say on the record, Your Honour, that he did open the door or that he did unlock the door? Which one is it? Did you unlock the door, Garda Mahoney?
I've no recollection, Your Honour, if the door was open.
Did you unlock the door, Garda Mahoney?
Judge, I have no recollection of whether or not the door was locked or unlocked when I opened it. I have no recollection.
Garda Mahoney, can you remember if you unlocked the door?
I can't, Judge. Most modern doors have deadlocks now, so you can't open them. Not like old-fashioned doors, where you could open them with a hanger or something like that.
So, answer the question. You just can't remember if you unlocked the door.
On first approaching the car, Garda Mahoney, did you try the door lock?
No, Judge, I just told him.
Your Honour, for and on the record, our recording demonstrates that on first approaching the car, Garda Mahoney did try the door handle, and you can hear him trying to open the door with the handle, and he could not open it. We put it to you, Garda Mahoney, that you are lying under oath.
That is not irrelevant, Mr. Murphy. This is a charge about a licence and insurance and failing to give your name to a Garda when requested to do so. Now, how is this relevant?
We will explain it as we go on, Your Honour. It is not relevant, Your Honour, because the basis of their charge is that they were saying there was a failure on my part to do something they requested, when that is not the case. The simple thing is that there was no failure on my part to do anything that the Garda asked or requested of me. He attacked me, Your Honour. That is the whole point. We have more questions to ask Garda Mahoney.
Well, maybe you should do that.
Very well, Your Honour. Garda Mahoney, isn't it true that you did unlock the door as referenced by the judge?
You have already asked that question. You may not be happy with that, but that is what he did do.
OK, Your Honour. Garda Mahoney, we put it to you that you put your hand in the window and did unlock the car door.
Judge, I have no recollection. If I did open the door, I did open the door.
Garda Mahoney, isn't it true that you did force the car door open?
I opened the door, Judge.
Your Honour, Garda Mahoney is being ambiguous with his answers.
Will you please move on with your questions?
Garda Mahoney, would you trust a man that was abusive, aggressive and physically violent towards you?
I don't know how I meant to answer that question, Judge. It's more of a statement than a question.
I think that's what Mr. Murphy is trying to say it is.
Forgive me, Your Honour, but we would much prefer to hear what Garda Mahoney has to say in answer to the question. We put it to you, Garda Mahoney, that you were abusive, aggressive and physically violent towards me. Garda Mahoney, isn't it true that the member in charge on the 24th of October 2012 in Portlaoise Garda Station refused to give me access to the documents that were in the car?
Judge, he was under arrest and he wouldn't have been entitled to access to the car.
We would have to put the question to Garda Mahoney again.
Please, don't put the question again. The Garda cannot answer for the member in charge. Do you want to cross-examine the member in charge?
We'd every intention of, but would have time to reconsider our questions in light of today's cross-examination, so therefore would require an adjournment, and we had not finished with cross-examining Garda Mahoney.
They don't talk to me, they look like glue that morning.
CLS Talks.